We're going to be sacrificing altruistic healing in order to get a much more supportive build here by going into virtues, mainly through the form of Absolute Resolution. Absolute Resolution is going to allow him to remove 3 conditions, or I think it's 3 conditions, apologies. Yeah, remove 3 conditions from any allies that are around him. And that, again, we really saw that coming into play there. Frey definitely thinking ahead here because of the fact that he knows there's going to be a lot more people coming into play, and as such, there'll obviously be a lot more AoEs that are inflicting things like burning and bleeds and whatnot onto opponents. So as such, he wanted to make sure he had that ready, and we really saw the difference there coming into play, because blue team just constantly had conditions on them the entire game. Red team was really good at making sure they were cleansed, and I really didn't ever see an overabundance of conditions on anyone over the course of that game there.
That's right. Also, if we look back on Frey's build, he does have, I think it's Pure Voice is what he's running on all the way in the honor track, which synergizes really, really well with Absolute Resolution, because he has all three shouts on his utilities there, and what that will allow him to do is just further Condi cleanse his team even more by converting those to boons. Now, if blue team had a Necro, that would be actually really bad, because he's running Save Yourselves. And the Necro could strip the boots right off them, convert to conditions, and then we'd be seeing a lot more damage on the red team from that utility.
And indeed. So with that said, guys, we are going to be moving into the game 2 here very shortly. We're just waiting for ready ups over here on the side of Cheese Mode. Frey, as well as Gengar and Ramon Cook are currently the people we are waiting for here to ready up. And as soon as they do, we're going to get started with our second round of Cheese Mode versus 55 HP Monks. This is a best of 3, so if Cheese Mode manages to take this second game, they will move on to the grand finals, and 55 HP Monks will be eliminated. As such, if 55 HP Monks takes this game, we will be pushed into a round 3.
That's right, and that'd be the first round 3 of the tournament so far, I think. If I'm not mistaken. There have been 2 O's all the way, well, there's only been 3 rounds so far, but from the round of 8 now into the semifinals.
There's not been a 2-1, there has not been a third round as of yet, so we'll have to see how that pans out. So while we're waiting, let's take a look over here at Blue Team's build. We didn't really do that last game.
Yeah.
We're going to take a look at Polyphy here playing on what appears to be a pretty standard bomb grenade NG. Currently running with 4 runes of the Nightmare, as well as 2 runes of Lissa, running with, again, Pistol Shield here, Rabbit Amulet, and the traits themselves are going to be 30, 10, 0, 20, 10. This is pretty standard for Condi NGs here in the current meta. As you see, a lot of conditions are going to be tossed out, and it's really just a pest to deal with, mainly because of this 25, and it really, apologies, not really a pest to deal with, it really helps out in team fights, mainly because of this 25-point trait here in explosives. He's going to be able to, along with the addition of the Grenadier trait, basically, for every full grenade toss that he ends up landing, it's going to put 3 stacks of vulnerability on whoever he lands. And if you stack enough of that up, you can get that around the 12 to 15 stacks onto most of the people on the enemy team, especially if they're all grouped up. So it ends up being a pretty nice utility to have in those team fights as well. Just all those really good support conditions. The Frost Grenade as well as the Poison Grenade as well are really good. Poison Grenade is amazing for Corpse Cleave, just trying to make sure you keep people in the down state that you end up getting down. And as well, the Frost Grenade is great if someone's trying to escape or you're trying to just slow down an entire group. We've seen actually some really clutch plays with Frost Grenade where it's completely screwed over teams' openings. So it's definitely something you want to have. And the Bomb Kit too, you got Big Old Bomb and amazing knockback, and as well, there's just some really nice damage that comes out from Big Old Bomb. Shad Ronger, he's going to be playing on Spirit Ranger with 6 runes of Balandro, as well as the Shortbow Sword Wardhorn with the Settler's Emmet and the traits being 10-0, 30-30. This is your pretty typical Spirit Ranger build. Lots of support can come out from this as well. You do have the the Spirit of Nature here. That can be an amazing support utility and can really turn an entire team fight around in just a few seconds. Milo on the Bunker Guardian here is going to be running with 6 runes of the Soldier, Staff, as well as Hammer with the Cleric's Amulet and the traits being 0-0, 30-30, 10. Again, lots of support can come out from this as well, in addition to keeping herself alive and keeping the team fight rolling, hopefully in 55H Monk's favor. Aldmeri is going to be on Warrior here, is going to also be playing that very tanky, very just straight-up damage-focused build here with 6 runes of Lissa. It is going to get swapped out to 100 Blades here or not 100 Blades, just got Greatsword here in a second. So it will be Greatsword, Longbow, as well as the Soldier's Amulet, and then 20-0, 20-0, 30. But unfortunately, we won't be able to go over the other 2 because we are about to get started with our next round.
That's right, man. I'm excited to see what these guys are going to do. And you know what these guys are going to do? They're going to go straight to mid. That's sort of required of them. But what they do on the way there will be interesting. I'm watching 55 HP Monks. They are sending 3 forward. It's Spanoram, Shad, and Milo. The rest are actually going to wrap around. Check out Aldemir and Misha interesting stuff. They may try and come up from behind and try and find Sizer or Viscan. Frey is going to go ahead and jump right into the fray with Banaram and Milo and Azon. Here comes Misha and Aldemir are going to go ahead. Yep, they're going right behind Sizer, trying to get him up there. But Sizer's going to go ahead and warp up to Misha. Polyphy is going to have to deal with Rom and Viscan as well over there. So this fight is actually more spread out than it has been really before in round 1.
Yeah, it definitely is. We definitely saw people here, with the openers at least, we saw people definitely trying to snipe out 1 or 2 people with the openers. Again, we see Sizer. Sizer's doing what he usually does, in all honesty, in a team fight. There's no real difference compared to the GVG or the Conquest format. Whenever he is in team fights, he's always on the outskirts, just trying to catch people off guard, trying to get squishy people like Misha, or, for instance, Polyphy might even be a focus target for him. Just trying to snipe him out and take him down really quick before they can assist too much with the team fight. And right now, he is actually having a little bit of trouble with that, because Blue Team is doing a pretty good job at keeping some annoying condies and focus onto him. Gonna actually force him to pop another Bazzy Venom here as he tries to re-engage on Shad. But other than that, though, Sizer doing a pretty decent job. He almost took Misha down, but again, Blue Team as well is doing a pretty good counter to it, too.
Yeah, I'm still watching it. He's going back and forth here. But he's right now he's on fire. Lots of conditions coming out from either side here. Rom is eating a lot of conditions actually. He's got warded in that ring. We have Frey with the book out once again, trying to get some support down for his team. And he's just taking in all the conditions for himself there. If he pulls out Save Yourselves, he'll draw all of them to himself and pull them off of his teammates. Shad has dropped in the downstate. Frey trying to get that stomp through. We'll get it. And we're going to see the first kill there going to G's mode. Will this be the beginning of a snowball? We'll have to see. They're actually targeting down Milo. Milo has to get off point here, trying to heal up, trying to stay away and do something. He also has a Tome of Courage, but he'll drop. Gengar and Sizer both coming in for the stomp. Plague Mode stomp is initiated. Milo gets killed as well. So once again, that's a loss of a bunker, a loss of someone who can stay on point longer. That's going to be hard for 55 HP Monks to come back from. Indeed
it will, and again, Phantom, we're currently looking at him. We haven't looked at him much. He is playing Staff Ellie support for this team. Again, his build as well is going to be with 6 Runes of Mercy, a Staff, as well as the Cleric Summit, and the trades being 0-0, 10, 30-30. As you can see, Aldemir was taken down, so he is going to be forced off the node, trying to fall back here a little bit. We do have the Engineer, the Engineer over here, is going to be, over on the red team that is going to be trying to pull them back in. And
we saw, I just saw Sizer stomp out Polyphy as well up on the ledge there. But right before jumping right back in the fight, Misha down once again. Sizer is responsible for that as well, and he and Rom will deal with him. And really, we're gonna see kill after kill after kill for Cheese Mode, and 55 HP Monks needs to do something different. They need to have an answer for this problem. I'm not exactly sure that they have it.
Yeah, and again, the issue I'm seeing too is that they let Sizer roam free, and he's sort of like I'm gonna compare Sizer to the Juggernaut for a minute here, like the X-Men Juggernaut. Where basically, if you let Sizer go, he's just going to keep doing more and more damage until you stop him again. You have to keep Sizer from moving, from getting the mobility he needs, and from getting the damage off that he wants to get off. Because if you are able to do that, he's not going to be able to do much. He's going to be forced to fall back, and he's going to have to wait. But if you let him go, he's just going to take your people down one by one, and slowly, by like one by one here, he's just going to snowball and slowly knock everyone out.
Look at the condies, though, on the blue side. Just so much went down on Milo. He got up regardless. You're going to go ahead and try and ring people in. Frey just goes ahead and stabilizes through it, walks right out, rings Milo in himself. He's going to start a chain up, but no. He's going to heal up, blocking all the damage, but it's just a matter of time until he gets dropped again. Frey's locked down, but he can go ahead and go in for the stomp once he decides to do so. And really, no one's actually in here on Milo to try and do the damage yet. Nope, there's Asmar coming in here as well. So now we're going to see the damage going down on this body. The bunker goes down once again. Fana, he's going to try and do some AoE DPS with the staff, man. And something we haven't really been focused on is Fanaram's staff Ellie support here. What's he starting to pull out here, man?
So in general, it's actually a little bit hard for me to try and take a guess, because we've really never seen it before in an SPVP format, the Staff Ellie. We've only seen it once or twice, and it's really been only to try and run a troll build or like a Lava Tomb Zerker build, which have been very weird indeed. So it's very interesting to see. It looks like he's trying to go for a supportive concept with this build, but I'm not entirely sure if it's doing too well here, because I'm not really seeing too much of an impact being made. Granted, he is bringing out quite a few support AoEs there. We have the lightning field coming out there. We have a really big water field that he can bring out there too. So if they're able to make use of that, that can be quite useful. But I'm just not sure if it's actually being used to its full potential here right now.
That's right. Now Milo's actually he got the Ring of Warding out on Sizer, and it's just like. You know that quote? It's just like, I'm not stuck in here with you, you're stuck in here with me, Watchman. That's exactly what happened. He just Rorschached Milo there. And actually, we're gonna see Sizer do it again over here. Except this time, it's Frey setting him up with the ring of warding here. And they're gonna go in on Shad. Shad might drop him. Yep, there's Shad going to the downstate. Misha's pretty low as well. He's actually running right into danger. Not a great decision there. Sizer will go ahead and stab him down. You might get some. Yep, there's some support from Fanaram trying to trip up anyone who's around him, but unfortunately the AoE was not enough to keep anyone from deep sending him down there. And we're gonna see Fanaram might be the next one to drop as well. With just so much red presence on the point and not enough blue. Everyone's respawning, but they can't get back into the fight, quick enough.
Yeah, and again.
Go ahead.
And earlier, too, we were talking about the Kandis once we're going on to the blue team. Mainly, this is, again, I talked about this, too. This is because that, because of the fact that not only because Milo's build doesn't really complement going against Kandi comps too much, too. Granted, if she was 20 more points into Virtues, or at least even 10 more points into Virtues, she could be doing more, she could be doing a lot better. But because of the fact that Gengar over here is running with a Kandi focus build, and he has Epidemic, which I think he might have switched that out, like before we started the first round, and I might have missed on that. Because he's running Epidemic over here, he can not only get a crap ton of Kandis onto one person, but he can then spread them out to anyone within the area, which is really an amazing utility for a Kandi man. So we don't see it as much as we used to, but in a situation like this, I think it can be very useful. And we obviously did see it, because we saw those huge amounts of Kandis going on to the entirety of the blue team multiple times, not only the last round, but this round as well.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think we're going to see 55 HP Monks is going to slowly lose ground. And we're just going to see Gengar and company push towards that gate. We're going to see them knock it down, and I think it's going to be another 2-0, probably. We're seeing Frey right now coming off the book. Actually, he still has the book out, just running support here, just staying on point, and just like all the fighting is going on the ledges right now. Once they cause another person to go down, it might be Shad, who's actually quite low here in the mid, a little bit overextended. He's gonna go ahead and jump right back in here. Once we start, as I was saying though, once we start seeing them drop, once we start seeing the wipe again, they're gonna start pushing backwards. And really, what we need to see from 55 HP Monks is just the concerted effort, staying together, getting their people up the respawn, which is exactly what we just saw happen to Shad, getting him respawn. But they also need to get him out of the fight here. He's just gonna drop again.
Yeah, indeed. There's some really nice focus at the moment here coming out from the members of Cheese Mode. They're keeping Shad down. Blue team, granted 55 HM Monks, is doing an excellent job at keeping people up. They almost, I think they actually had someone there from Cheese Mode down there finally, but again, Cheese Mode as well is doing an excellent job at making sure they get their down players back up and into the game. It looks like actually Cheese Mode changes the target as well onto Polyphy in the downstate, but again, they got two members almost instantly there and ready to get the rally off. Unfortunately, because of the fact that two went down, they weren't really able to appropriate resources to both of them, so we may be seeing the loss of Milo, which is not going to be good again, because they did lose their bunker guard and they won't really be able to fight without that. And again, it doesn't really look like they're going to be able to get Milo back up and into the game.
Yeah, that pet is just going to go ahead and eat him. And Shad's going to go ahead and get stomped as well. Misha drops now, and this, like I said, they're going to start wiping. They're going to lose one by one. And with the numbers advantage from the right side, they can just start closing that sort of noose around the neck of 55 HP Monks. What they're going to have to do is find a way to bolster their numbers to just stay alive. Or what they could do is actually give up a little ground, go ahead and retreat, but check out what's already happening. Gengar's already in. He might try and solo the Lord here as the rest of his team is beginning to come up here. That's Rom, who's actually throwing down the fire field. Using the short bow, you're going to go ahead and just deal with the other NPCs. The soldiers are going to die. The casters are going to die. Milo's here to do some sort of support, but the rest of the team is actually pushing up now with Frey and Sizer and everyone. So this is a really tough position for Blue Team to actually pull off here.
Rom as well there, I just noticed something. Rom in here is trying to focus down the NPCs a little bit, which I don't necessarily agree with. It would be a bit different if he was just trying to get them down to a low health pool, but it looks like he's trying, earlier, before this team got there, he was just trying to eliminate them completely. Now, the reason I don't agree with that is if your teammates actually go down here on the Lord fight, you can actually assist, and as well, we just had Blue Lord killed, so with that, Red Team is going to be taking this one.
So that's another 2-0.